Learning is a relatively permanent change in behavior or knowledge due to experience. It's how we adapt and thrive in an ever-changing world. Learning requires us to engage, to think, and often, to repeat actions to master them. My name is Dr. Kettle. I'm thrilled to have you here to explore the concept of learning. Picture a newborn sea turtle instinctively crawling towards the ocean, a baby effortlessly sucking on a bottle, or a dog shaking off water after a swim. What do all these behaviors have in common? They are all innate, unlearned actions. Reflexes and instincts are fascinating because they're hardwired into us and other animals from birth. Learning is fundamentally different from these inborn behaviors. It's not about what we're born knowing, it's about what we acquire through experience. Take a moment to think about this. Why do we learn? Is it just to get good grades or pass this class? Or is there something deeper happening? Let's break it down. Learning is a relatively permanent change in behavior or knowledge due to experience. It's how we adapt and thrive in an ever-changing world. Unlike a reflex, which is an automatic reaction to a stimulus, or an instinct, which is a complex pattern of behavior triggered by certain events, learning requires us to engage, to think, and often, to repeat actions to master them. Imagine learning to surf, a young boy who wants to catch waves like his father. He isn't born knowing how to balance on a surfboard. He has to fall, get back up, and try again. This process of trial and error is part of what we call associative learning. The idea that we learn by forming connections between different stimuli or events. In psychology, we talk about three main types of associative learning: classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and observational learning. Let's take a look at each one generally. Classical conditioning is where it all started, with a guy named Pavlov and his famous dogs. It's about learning to associate two events that happen close together. Think about a storm. You see a flash of lightning and then hear a boom of thunder. If this sequence happens enough times, just seeing the lightning can make you brace yourself for the thunder. That's your mind making a connection. Then there's operant conditioning, learning through rewards and punishments. Picture this: you're teaching your dog to sit. Every time he sits, you reward him with a treat. Soon enough, it starts sitting just to get the treat. This type of learning involves understanding that our actions can lead to certain consequences. Lastly, we have observational learning. Learning by watching others. Think about how much of what we do daily, from tying our shoes to driving a car, we initially learned by observing others. Watching your father master surfing the waves offers a shortcut to learning, helping to avoid mistakes and pick up the right techniques faster. So, why does all this matter? Because learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge, it's about connecting, adapting, and evolving. It's about how we move from reflexive, automatic actions to complex, intentional behaviors. Think about your learning experiences. How have you learned something new? Was it through direct experience, like trial and error, or perhaps by observing someone else? In summary, learning is a dynamic and essential process that goes beyond innate behaviors. It involves engaging with our environment, thinking critically, and often repeating actions to master new skills. Unlike reflexes and instincts, learning is about acquiring knowledge and adapting to new experiences. Whether through classical conditioning, operant conditioning, or observational learning, the process of learning helps us connect, adapt, and evolve. It's not just about getting good grades or passing a class. It's about understanding the deeper mechanisms that drive our ability to thrive in an ever-changing world. Embrace the journey of learning, and remember that every experience, whether a success or a failure, contributes to your growth and development.